The number one live show in the world, West Coast Poplock Podcast. Coming to you from Pig Studios in Compton, California. Featuring radio personality Super Steve Flores, comedian extraordinaire, that dude Johnny C, and Mr. I'll Do Anything for a Buck, Mario 81. So throw your dubs in the air and let's get ready to pop lock.
Yo, what's up? Once again, it's Tuesday night, and you know what that is. It's the West Coast Poplock Podcast, the number one live podcast
on Earth
every Tuesday night.
Or whatever fucking day I want to do it.
Live on Twitch,
Today,
live on
Tuesday.
Facebook, live on YouTube, Spotify, part of my Grito family, and always coming to you live from Pig Studios in Compton, California.
Hell yeah.
On the way in here, I stopped at Dunkin' Donuts to get a coffee.
Uh-huh.
And the girl that's, drive through. And I said, I'm going to get a little pastry. I deserve a little pastry.
Sure.
I deserve a pastry.
I don't, but can I get a raspberry donut? Oh, we don't have that one. Oh, yeah, can I do the powdered? No, we don't have that one. Can I do the sprinkles? No, we don't have it. We only have the chocolate. Why didn't you start with that?
After one, she should tell you.
Yeah, come on. After two,
Yeah.
so if you're listening, because I know you are, you're an idiot.
You went to but you also, 90% of people, after if they go not chocolate, the second one they're going to go to is like, all right, well, give me chocolate. You know what I mean? So you went to different ones where she was like, this motherfucker just say chocolate.
Yeah, true. Well, you know what, guys? Today we have a very special guest, someone that I've known for a little while, and we've just become friends, and we've been in the same industry, events, and we found out some other stuff about him today. He's also an artist. Welcome, Antonio Palayo, to the West Coast Poplock Podcast, episode 102.
Oh, 102. Dun.
102.
Got it.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me,
There
guys.
it is. Yes, thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you for coming out here, man. Coming all the way out here on a Tuesday night, hanging out with us. Let me get into what I know about you as well first, because I know there's so much more.
Let's go backwards.
Yeah, there's so much now that I've learned as well.
Sure.
You know what? You tell us a story.
Oh shit.
What? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, instead of us trying to pick at it, where do you want to start?
I'll tell you the story from the beginning. So born in Glendale, 1973. Moved around Burbank, Highland Park. In 1970, I will say 77, 78, my mom started studying with the Jehovah Witnesses. And my dad didn't agree with that. So one day he told her, look, you need to stop studying, or I'm going to send you and the kids out to Mexico. They're from a small town in Jalisco called Palmar. Probably literally 150 houses there, a couple hundred people. Everyone knows each other, and everyone in that town at that time was Catholic. So my dad was, if I send him back there with the pressure of the family, my wife is gonna decide to go back to being Catholic.
Yeah.
So they did. 1979, one day, my mom picked, she woke us up. She's like, pack your shit. Can I curse?
Yeah.
Even more, please. She's like, pack your shit. We're going to Mexico.
How old are you at this time?
So that's 79. I was born in 73. Was like 6.
All right.
Around 6. And so I thought, oh, cool. We're going to go to Mexico. Because we used to go once a year to El Rancho.
It's vacation time.
Yeah, exactly. And then that turned into 10 years in Mexico.
What?
Oh, yeah.
So my dad's plan didn't pan out. My mom became a stronger Jehovah Witness.
Oh, shit.
And she recruited like half the town.
She started
half her family, half the town. I was running.
It's like when they were trying to break up La Onda, man. You didn't break it
exactly.
up. You just fucking spread it.
It was like my mom started a new cartel down there.
Yeah.
And I became such a devout Jehovah Witness at the age of like 13, 14. I was running congregations down there. I was leading congregations out to preach, knock on doors and all that stuff. So I was really into it. Then I got baptized when I was like 15. And then at 16, my mom one day decides, you know what? We're going to go visit your dad.
So are you doing like no birthdays, no
Nothing.
Christmas,
Nothing.
no caffeine? Like is that
No,
Jehovah's
caffeine,
Witness?
yeah.
No, that's Mormon.
No, but
Yeah,
no.
Mormons.
Yeah.
Magic underwear.
But for sure, no birthdays, no Christmas,
Nothing.
none of that stuff.
The
no
only
holidays.
thing they celebrate is the death of Jesus in March.
All right.
Easter.
But other than that,
that's
you
it.
don't get nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
All right.
Damn, what a
so-
thing to celebrate.
You know, that's it. That's
Yeah.
that was the important part.
And it wasn't
You know
even,
what I
it's
mean?
not even a celebration. You just go to the Kingdom Hall and they give a 2-hour speech and that's it.
You acknowledge it.
Yeah.
You don't even get
And-
like punch and cookies.
Well, the chosen ones do get to eat, bread and wine.
how do you become a chosen one?
144,000 people are the ones that are going to heaven. It's this weird process. You just know. They don't even explain how like the chosen one is the chosen one. It's
They're
like
just chosen.
you just know.
Yeah.
And that's
all
the
right.
exact number, 144,000.
Yeah, according to the Bible, because the Bible does say that 144,000 will be chosen for whatever. They believe that 144 people have been chosen already to go to heaven to help God rule the world once this world is destroyed and then the paradise building starts.
Yo, fellas, how does it feel to be 45, 6, and 7? Because I'm 44.
Yeah. I'm 47.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro. So even if it's your kid, you're like, wow, sorry, bro.
Yeah.
You're 40, you're 52. Like, I'm out.
You're out.
Swinging Steve from 69 Minutes with My is hanging out with us here on the forums. Shout out to My out there, Samuel, Jimenez, and Hector. What's up? Swinging Steve was just a Jehovah's until recently, and he just actually parted ways with that a few years ago, and he was telling me about his thing. He's on here in the chat, man. Yeah, look. It's happening. So you are no longer practicing?
Hold on. All right. So you go to visit your dad.
So, no, we're still in the ranch.
Yeah. Okay.
So my mom, this is like, let's say it's whatever time, and my mom was like, "Oh, we're gonna pack our stuff." But the plan was I was going to stay in Mexico because we have a ranch out there and we have a bunch of animals, and so it was gonna be my mom and my sisters coming to visit my dad, and I was gonna stay behind. So the night before, everyone's packing their stuff. Everyone starts crying, and my mom was like, "Nah, fuck that. We're taking you too." So I'm like, "All right." So I pack my stuff, and here we come. So we take a bus to the nearest city, and then from the city to Guadalajara, and then from Guadalajara all the way to TJ, we took a bus. They didn't have any seats available, so we either like took turns at one of the seats when it was available, or they gave us like buckets to sit in the aisle or standing up. It was a 46-hour trip to TJ, and the whole entire time like that.
Were there roosters and shit inside there?
All of it, pigs and
whole
roosters
nine.
and.
Oh man, I thought you were being an asshole.
No, I live that.
No, for sure.
Dude, I have a crazy story. This one time when we went to a Jehovah Witness meeting at one of the nearest cities, on our way back, we took the bus. By the time we got to the rancho, half the bus fell apart. It was so old. Dude, it was the craziest shit ever. It started falling apart.
Did they treat it like a big deal, or were they like,
dude,
quit?
we were just laughing inside. We're laughing because a window fell off, then a part of it fell off, and then all of a sudden half of the bus from the back just fell off.
Were people in it?
We're in it.
No, I'm saying in the
no,
piece that fell off.
That piece, no, there are no people. It was
So
it
there's
was
just
like
no
half,
back of the bus.
Yeah,
You're just like looking out, just nothing.
Wind and dust is just like blowing through it, dude.
Holy
yeah, it was the
shit.
most insane
And Oscar,
shit
that's
ever.
not the kind of bus Mario
Yeah,
wants.
they're gonna
Nope.
bring that bus.
Hell no.
We're still waiting on the bus, Oscar. Still waiting on the bus.
So we're back at the ranch. No, we're back at TJ. So we arrive at TJ. My dad's there to pick us up, and he sees me. He's like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" I'm like, "Oh, thanks, Dad."
Yeah,
Good seeing
nice
you.
to see you.
So that was my welcome back to the U.S. So the plan was we were gonna stay here just for like 2 months, and we ended up staying for the rest of the time. Yeah, my mom and the sisters, they were like, "No, we're not going back to Rancho. We're staying here."
Like, fuck
So we did.
that.
We did. So I'm 16. I start hanging out with the black sheep of the Jehovah Witness congregation. We started going to parties that are Jehovah Witness parties.
But still parties.
Their parties, they don't play any bad music, or they don't serve any alcohol or no smoking. It was clean.
Sure. You guys, according to them, they're the bad kids, but you're not doing
Yeah,
nothing bad.
exactly.
You guys are doing
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we graduated from that to going to house parties
All right, now
outside of
now
that.
you're the bad
Yeah.
kids.
Now we start going to the parties
Alright.
where no one there's a Jehovah Witness. They're smoking, then there's drugs, there's chicks, everything. I got a taste of that, and I fucking fell in love with it.
You're like,
Yeah,
never
come on.
mind.
Yeah.
What I've been
Sure.
what I've been missing out on all my life.
One
Exactly.
Kick,
And
one
I
kickback.
felt like I was reborn.
One
For
real kickback, and that was it. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like,
Beach
oh,
party.
like what? This is what you guys do? Like,
Yes.
oh,
Just out of curiosity, at this party, do you remember any of the tracks that were kind of playing? Any of the drinks that were happening?
You know the hip hop, Dr. Dre, Snoop, all the bad stuff.
Okay.
Which is good.
This
Yeah, hell
is in the
What a
90s,
way
I'm
to come
assuming?
in.
Yeah.
90s, okay.
In the early 90s.
Early 90s.
Yeah, I got thrown out of the Witnesses in 90.
You got thrown out?
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
You're an outcast,
90,
man.
Look at-
I got thrown out in 96.
Plenty of people are like, you know what? I left. You know, I just didn't want to do it anymore.
No, I got thrown out.
It's like, no, I got thrown the fuck out.
And here's the process. So you sin. So what happened is I got my son's mom pregnant.
Hell yeah.
My mom ratted on me. This whole time when she was pregnant, I didn't tell anyone. No one knew that she was pregnant. And I don't know how the hell she found out, but one day I'm leaving the house and she's following me outside and she's like, oh, I heard what you did to Melissa. That was my son's mom. And I'm like, what? She's like, I heard she's pregnant. I'm like, about that, we'll talk later. So I took off. And then a few weeks from that day, there was a big assembly, a Jehovah Witness assembly. And it's this thing that it used to be at the Dodger Stadium. There was like, you know, they packed. They
The
packed
Dodgers
out.
are Jehovah?
No. The Jehovah Witnesses used to have their conventions at the Dodger Stadium. But here's the crazy part about that. They never had security. You got, how many people fit in the Dodger Stadium? 70,000?
Yeah, 60,000, sure.
Well, it used to
Yeah.
get packed. 70,000 Jehovah Witnesses and no security. And there was one incident where some kids got into a fight. After that, they got banned. They're like, dude, you guys got 70,000 people here with no security. So they got banned after that. Anyway, so the convention was coming up, and my mom wanted me to confess to the elders what I did. And I told her, you know, I'll tell them. But she went ahead and told them. She ratted on me, and then I got thrown out.
So you're like Bob from La Bamba. You had me
Yeah.
locked up. You had me ratted on me.
So she told on me, and then obviously they approached me, and they're like, oh, you know, we need to talk, right? And I'm like, yeah, I know. So they bring you into the room. There's 5 elders, and they just start grilling you. And their intention is to see if the sin that you committed, to see if you feel bad about it,
Sure,
and what the
sure,
level of
remorseful.
that. Yeah.
Sure.
And-
Holy shit.
And,
Then
and
you're-
at that point, I was just like, dude, I was done.
fuck you
Yeah, I
guys.
was done. And yeah, they get up on stage like on the next meeting, and they announce, we want to make an announcement. Antonio Pelayo is no longer part of this organization.
Holy
you know how this works.
shit.
Do not talk to him. He cannot associate with none of you. And that's the way to throw you out.
That's it.
Yeah.
But isn't it crazy? Like, you were part of it. You get thrown out. I can talk to them.
Yeah.
And I'm a-
it's
I'm a
very
sinner.
crazy. It's very stupid.
Yeah.
The rule is very stupid. Yeah.
Now, if you try, is there like a list? If you tried to go join someplace
There's
else?
a process.
No, so if you tried to go join someplace else, would they find out?
They'll
that
find
you
out.
went- No
oh,
shit.
Yeah, they'll find out.
He's in the data bank, Johnny.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I guess in the internet age, everything is. But I'm going like
Oh,
back
yeah.
in the day.
Oh, no. There's scripture. There's a big old scroll. There's names on it. No, yeah, no.
I actually have a barcode. No, just-
Yeah, damn.
Believe it, man.
But so where was I going?
You had just
You
get
got thrown
cast.
out.
You just got. You're now cast. Now, no one's
Okay.
talking to you.
So my son is born. I get thrown out. I started working at Disney when I was 19.
Doing.
Animation art. But I got the job through a temp agency, and it was supposed to be a 5-day thing, and just do the easy stuff, inventory. But during those 5 days, I found out from some of the guys that they were going to start an inking department. And I asked one of the guys, you know, show me what it is. And he did, and I'm like, dude, I can fucking do that shit.
Tattooing at Disney.
It's sort of kind of like tattooing, actually.
Really?
Yeah. But he's like, well, go talk to our boss. And I did. And I told my boss, I'm like, I hear you're starting an inking department, and I saw what it is. I think I can do it. And, you know, I'm an artist. And he's like, all right, cool. So then the next day I came in, they tested it. They did a test on me. They had me ink some Winnie the Poohs, and obviously I aced it. And that was the first one they hired. So then from there, I got
Fuck
hired
yeah.
where I'm at. at the main ink and paint department, which is it's the oldest department in the entire company. It's going to turn 100 years in 2023. It's the oldest department in the company, and it's the oldest still in function and still in the same real estate, because eventually all the departments were moved out. You got the main animation building on the lot. No one in that building does animation. They're all across the street because they build a new animation building.
Sure.
My department was left alone. They never moved it, and we're still there. So at one point, this department was hundreds of women back in the 1920s, and then it forward 100 years now it's literally 4 of us. And at one point, I was the only inker and painter there, because some retired and some passed away. So I was the only one for a couple years until they hired my son. And then my son was there for like 3 years, and kid blew up in 2020, and he's like, Dad, I'm out. When they brought us back to work, he gave us 2-week notice. He's out.
So they hired Mexicans like every other corporation.
Sí se puede.
Yeah.
So really quick, I don't know what an inker is. What is an inker? What are you doing?
It's the person who what's that word?
Paints?
Inks?
Not paint, but inks.
Get outta here.
So you have the animator that does the pencil drawing, right?
Okay.
And then the inker comes and puts the cell on top and transfers. That's the word. We transfer those lines onto the cell. That cell gets inked and painted, and then gets inserted into a camera, gets shot one time, they pull it out, they put the next one, they get shot one time, pull it out. It takes 24 of those cells to make a second of the film.
24 frames per second.
20, exactly. So Snow White took 400,000 cells to make the film. So what my department does is that we keep that tradition alive. It's the same process that was done from 1920. We still do it. We're probably the only studio on earth that's still doing that.
Holy shit.
I'm not trying to brag, but I am probably the only master inker on earth
Sure.
that's still inking
100%.
animation.
Dude,
Yeah.
there's like in tattooing, there's guys that their lineage is pure, that they could like, I'll go back 2 generations to the tree, that everything this is built on, to be like, no, you don't understand. Like, I'm keeping something alive. Like, all this Disney shit, all that stuff, me personally, I am keeping that alive, is incredible. Like, that is like, what an opportunity to be there. Is fucking, congratulations,
Thank
man.
you.
That's fucking super dope.
So you're still inking today all the movies or the
No.
shows, or what are you inking?
No, that stopped in the 80s. So when the computer age came, now everything's digital.
Right.
There are still some animators that do some stuff on paper, like 1 or 2 drawings, and everything happens digitally after
Right.
that. So what we do is it's become fine art. So we produce 500 art pieces a year, and these are only sold to employees. But in the same process that it was done since the beginning.
Got it.
So we produce fine art.
Is this the same art
Dude,
that can
that
be...
is- fuck yeah.
I've seen some of those silhouettes that have sold, I think, at Disney or whatever. That's what we're talking about, too? Like, they're full-on color, like
Yeah.
the full...
Yeah,
That's
thousands
fucking
for
awesome.
thousands of dollars.
So only employees can buy them?
Yeah, yep. At one point, when I started there in '94, this world of animation fine art was hot, and we were producing a lot of work, and
Fuck yeah,
this
it was.
work was being sold all over the world in galleries everywhere. And then I guess the market got saturated, and it just took a shit. So that ended pretty much, and so what we produce now is only sold to employees. You can't get it anywhere.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is super
Yep.
cool.
We
I'm
only
glad I
produce
didn't-
500 art pieces a year, and only for employees.
And how do those pieces get decided on what you're gonna make?
Us, we decide. We look at the calendar of, like, if there's an anniversary coming up. So let's say
Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid's having 20-year anniversary next year. All right, let's do a piece on her.
I have a request, Lampwick. Okay, there's the only 2 dudes that get no love in Disney is Lampwick from Pinocchio and Scar. Scar and Lampwick get.
We already did a Scar piece.
like
Yeah.
like this man.
Well, the thing is that we choose pieces that are desirable by a lot of people.
Sure.
We don't want to do a piece that.
People are like, fuck that, I
Yeah.
want that.
Just out of curiosity, can you tell us how much those pieces start off for employees?
They're cheap.
Oh, are they?
Like,
Okay.
Yeah, they're like between $350 to $400.
Wow.
But they're already worth a couple thousand.
Just off the bat, because
Yeah.
it's just so minimum and such a small run,
Yeah.
and obviously the oldest running department in the universe of what you guys do.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's so fucking.
I'm glad I know an employee.
I know, right?
But here's the thing: if you're an employee and you buy one of these, they make you sign a contract. You can't sell it for 5 years.
Oh, okay, that's not bad.
Sure, it's like Ferrari.
Yeah.
But you
Wait,
know
for
what?
real?
That's pretty smart though, because it just gets more
can't
and
sell it
more.
for a year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It makes
you're
no
doing me
sense
a
to
favor.
Yeah, exactly. In 5 years, this is gonna be triple the
Yeah.
value. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
But I don't know. So I started working at Disney '93. Disney holds art shows for their employees.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, I didn't know anything about the art world. So they invited some of the coworkers invited me because they were part of the show, and they're like, "What's that?" "Oh, it's an art show. Come." So I show up, and I see everyone's got art on the walls, and that shit just like blew my fucking mind. I'm like, really? You can create like art and hang it on there, and people might buy it or criticize it or admire it? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, dude, I want to fucking do that. So I was like, my early 20s. And then I decided I want to do this. So I started practicing with different techniques. And then I fell in love with pencil realism. And then that's what I started practicing. And I started doing commissions for employees. I did maybe 15, 20 commissions. And I took that as practice. And then I started building my portfolio. And then years later, I got introduced to a famous graffiti artist by a friend of mine. A friend of mine had a studio in downtown in the same building where he had a studio. And he's like, for years, he's like, dude, you got to come down here and meet these graffiti artists. And I was like, I just don't want to do it. And then finally one day he calls me up and he's like, hey dude, so Retna wants to buy he wants to buy your Tupac drawing. And I was like, that was the very first time someone told me, oh, I want to buy one of your pieces. And then I was like, well, tell him I don't want to sell it. And he did, but then he came back. He's like, he really wants to buy it. Because you guys know who Retna is? Yeah. So he's like, he's a big Tupac fan. He's like, dude, he really wants to buy it. I'm like, well, you know what? Tell him I want 10 grand. It was a stupid price because I didn't want to sell it. So then he's like, all right. He says he wants to see it in person. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. So I got my little portfolio and I took a friend of mine. We went down there to the studio, met him. At that point, I didn't know who he was. I had no idea on the art world and how it worked. So then we meet, and he looked at it and he's like, yeah, I like it a lot, but I don't have that kind of money right now. But I'll put you in one of my shows, because he was curating art shows back then. In 2000, I met him in 2004, and then he put me in a show in January 2005, which I still have the flyer, which was like a piece of little paper that we cut.
Nice.
It's so funny. And my art career just took off from there.
I was like, I'm not gonna give you 10 grand, but I will give you an opportunity.
Yeah, that's what happened.
You know,
That's what happened.
Nice.
And I was like, as soon as he said I want to see it, I was like, he's not gonna give him the money. He's gonna give him something else. I already knew where it was going. It's like, and he gave you something worth way more than $10,000.
Oh yeah, because dude, I was so hooked from that point on. I was drawing 24 motherfucking 7. That's all I did. That's all I cared about. And that's all I did, just draw every fucking day and do art shows. I had a business at that time, and it was thriving. And I just let it go.
You're like, fuck that, I want to do this.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, this is... Well, from the minute I was exposed to an art show, I said, this is what I want to do. And that's what I did. And we did a bunch of shows with him. And eventually he just blew up. And he forgot about all of us. You should cut that part.
No. Well, it's crazy because I started doing some art shows, not to that level, I guess, with guys like Rednum, but because there was kids at K-Rock when I was there that were like, oh, I want to be an artist. And, my boy, Matty Boy, we had him on the show, and he was like, oh, I want to do art. So we started doing it at the Slide Bar, thanks to Josh and Ramon hooking us up, giving us opportunity in the space. My boy G at his warehouse. And, you see these guys, and once they get the vibe, not the vibe, once they get that taste of that first show, now that's what Matt does. He does nothing but art. He does art for iHeartRadio. He does all their promotional stuff, and he still does a bunch of art, does a bunch of clothing, and but yeah, man, it's cool to see that that spark that you help turn on into other people. But yeah,
Man,
it's
a
awesome.
cool art show opening. It's hard to top like that night when you're fucking hanging out in the like that.
You're
like,
a star, bro.
Oh
Yeah.
man, but I've never been let alone be the fucking artist.
Yeah.
I've only been at like dope art shows
Yeah.
where you're like, man, this fucking shit is badass. Let alone when you're the motherfucker out there selling the paintings. Like, fuck yeah, man.
Well, my son just had a solo show like 3 weeks ago. I don't know. Did I invite you to that?
No.
Probably.
Yeah, so he's
You
26.
did.
He blew up. He blew up in 2020. We were locked down, and he just like one day got drunk and started painting looser, cause he's a master painter. But it was super tight stuff that he was doing, and then one day he just like got loose, and that shit like.
Dude,
blew
you let
up.
it go and get loose with dude. Like, it's mind you, I do no art, but I've seen where you have to be able to bring it in and bring it in and bring it in, and then once you're there to be able to come back out is like such like that's where when it's like, dude, you got to get loose now, and like that's such the perfect word too. It's like when you watch people, it's like, ooh, they're loose up there, like ooh,
They're just set free and able to do
exactly.
express.
set free, exactly. Like there's such a difference. It took me so long to even see, because I wanted everything to be hyper realist or to look like what it's supposed to be, to look like shit, and then to appreciate someone that knows how to draw tight, getting loose, and it's like, okay,
And it's
I
not
see.
easy.
It's not easy.
not easy.
And it looks like, you're just fucking and it's like, nope. There's very specific rules being followed. There's very like, this is a thing, like, it's the best. I wish I knew how to do art so I could talk about it better.
Just describe it in wrestling, John.
You know what I mean? That's the only art that I know. That's one of the only ones that I know.
It's true art right there.
Lucha Libre.
So, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So I started exhibiting my work, and then I started getting friends and strangers, because back then MySpace had started, and mind you, when it started, I didn't want to join, and Retna's the one that got me to join.
You
He's
keep
like,
not
"Dude,"
wanting to do all kinds of stuff.
he's like, join MySpace and put your artwork there so more people can see it. And I'm like, all right, fuck it. So I did. So I started getting a lot of people asking me for advice. Hey, how do I get my stuff out there? My friends that were aspiring artists are like, help me get out there. And then some people started telling me you should curate shows. I'm like, because when we had our shows, we had a shit ton of people come.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if you curate a show, you get to help other people. I'm like, I'm all about that. So that's when I started curating art shows. I did that for years, and then I got tired of doing that. So I said, I just want to do one big event a year. And that's when I created El Velorio in 2009. And I launched it in 2010. And it was a mini festival where I have music, art, car show, live art, food, alcohol, everything in one night. And that's when I launched it. So that's how I got my event career started. I had no experience. I just threw myself in there, and I didn't know what was going to happen. So then I started La Bulla in 2015, the wrestling event. And the same concept, but with live Lucha Libre.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. And then later I added another one called Tatuaje, another one called LA Story, which is a lowrider show.
Now, where are these happening at?
Mainly at Plaza de la Raza in Lincoln
Sure.
Park. I've taken my tattoo event to Mexico City to a museum, and that one also to Mola Museum. And that's as far as I've taken them. And then this year I launched a 90s house music event called House Issues at Plaza, and it was probably my most successful one.
Yeah, I did one last year in November, House Rumble. That show was pretty tight. Yeah, we had Richard Humpty Vision, Bad Boy Bill, and it was dope, man. People love that shit.
Oh yeah.
People love that shit. Angie V was on there.
Yeah.
Et cetera was on there. Yeah, it was when it comes to dance music, people just love that shit.
Well,
dude.
especially
Hell
the
yeah.
90s.
Yeah, 90s. for
Especially
sure.
the 90s.
But I think it's always what's that old saying? Everything comes like in 20s. You know what I'm saying? Like
21 years.
21
Yeah.
years.
21 years is...
And that shit's hot right now.
Well, I was gonna launch it in 2020 too, and I knew it was gonna be hot when Richard and Irene went live on Facebook during the lockdown. You see all the comments. It had thousands and thousands of views, and everyone was like, "Dude, someone's got to do an event." And I was like, "That's gonna be me." Watch.
Yeah.
So we did. I had I had 3 stages, and I had a huge art exhibit, and the exhibit was composed of 27 party crews, and they all got a piece of a wall, and they all hung their memorabilia, photos, flyers, anything from the 90s. So it was dope.
I used to take photos for Street Beat magazine.
No shit.
Yeah,
I think we did talk about it.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to find more people. You know, to find Street Beat magazines is so hard.
Oh yeah,
dude, it's like insanely hard.
Yeah.
I've talked to probably 400 or 500 people, and some have some and they don't want to sell them.
Oh heck no.
Or they know someone, no, but I don't think they'll sell them. So I've been able to find like 15 magazines out there.
Yeah,
it's not easy.
Marty Beat, that was the guy.
Well, no one knows where Marty Beat's at.
No, who knows? Back then when Marty Beat was hanging around, he was that old guy hanging out with youngsters.
Hilarious. So
You know
he's
what I'm saying?
old now.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
he used to
This
wear
was-
this white sort of like suit, and it had airbrushed on it, Street Beat on the
Hell
leg and on the
yes.
arm. Dude,
like the mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart.
Yeah,
Like,
he
this
was the
like-
Mexican mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, and he was already old at that time.
Right.
How old
You know
is he
what I'm saying?
now, do you think?
Dead.
Probably
Like that
bro.
old? I'm saying like.
No,
you know,
because dude, we're high school age at the time. You know what I'm saying?
so it's been 30 years.
And he was, I'm
50.
telling
So
you.
if he was 50 at the time,
Yeah.
he's 80 now.
Yeah,
you
he
know,
was an
like-
older cat. At
Well-
least he looked older.
Bro, I've asked so many people because I wanted to invite him to the show, and no one knows where he's at. No
Or
one.
what happened.
No,
probably, yeah.
they're like, dude, he disappeared.
Well, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, he was an older dude hanging out with
Then,
a bunch of youngsters.
sure.
Who knows? Who knows? Who knows what happened, bro?
Well, you know who owns Street Beat magazine now?
No.
It's the owner of Thump Records, and I got a hold of
Oh,
them
good.
too.
You know what? But that makes me happy that someone. That seems like a good pairing. But go ahead.
Well, yeah, he owns the magazine, but he's not doing anything with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. I remember, Marty Beat, bro. I took photos for him.
No way.
Because I was doing stuff in Orange County. So, all the Intense and
Yeah.
all this Latin Law and the dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had the Dogs. I had Latin Nation.
There was so many, dude. So
Yeah.
many. Hope Patrol.
I had a
fucking,
crew myself.
Yeah?
Hell yeah.
From the Valley, reckless ones.
Reckless ones? I'm telling you, there were so
but
many.
but you know where I started it? I started in Orange County,
Okay.
in Santa Ana.
All right,
I used
all
to live in Anaheim.
Okay.
So when I came back from Mexico, I lived in Anaheim for 3 months. Right when I came back,
Uh-huh.
and I made friends in Orange County. And after I came back to Glendale, I used to be in Orange County every weekend.
Did you go to school in Anaheim at all?
No.
Okay.
No.
Because all my family's from Anaheim.
Mhm.
Like, on my mom's side, they all
Yeah.
went to Anaheim High School.
I wonder if
From
they
all
know any Gutierrez.
Maybe.
Yeah. It's the Gutierrez family from Anaheim.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but yeah, dude, I was, photos and shit. Marty Beat. Yeah, whatever. You know what I'm saying? This older cat, so you don't know. He's dead. Who knows, bro?
You're trying to. I understand what you're trying to say. Quit trying to make him sound like a molester, man. That's what he was. That's what he was getting at. Like, oh, who knows what happened? Like, that's
Hey.
what you're trying to say.
You remember? I mean, I remember back then. This cat's older, bunch of young girls, bro.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, but you know,
But you see, when you're in the whole thing, you're really not. You know what I'm saying? You're not.
Sure.
I know that I wouldn't hang out with, if I was his age, with
Yeah.
young kids. But it is what it is, man. Marty Beat, I'm sorry, bro. You're probably at home, hanging. You're probably listening to the show right now. They're going like, "Fuck you, Steve."
He's all right, man.
She was 18.
Yeah, I just retired.
He's still wearing that suit right now. What are you talking about? Watching
I can
fucking-
imagine he's wearing that suit right now, bro. That's crazy. So you go from that. Now you're doing these events. What else, man?
And now I'm making a Lucha Libre movie.
No shit.
And that happened because of my events. So I had an art dealer back in 2006, one of the most successful art dealers in the country. He closed down his gallery years later when the economy went to shit. But he's always been a filmmaker. And now we reconnected years ago, and I invited him to my La Bulla. He came with his wife, loved it, came to El Velorio, and then one day he tells me, "Hey, bro, like we need to make a movie. This is a movie here happening." And I'm like, "Well, I don't know how to make movies." He's like, "Don't worry, you're gonna be a producer, and I'm gonna write it." And I'm like, "All right, whatever." So then he writes. I gave him the idea. Look, why don't you write a Day of the Dead script, because there's no Day of the Dead movies out there. There's only Coco and The Book of Life, but no live action Day of the Dead. So he wrote it, but he wrote it in a horror feel. And I'm like, dude, this is not gonna fly. If you want to go the horror route, then make it into a Lucha Libre horror film. So that's what he did. Rewrote the script. I gave him some edits here and there, and then that's what we're making. We're making a Lucha Libre horror film right now.
Nice.
And
Old school style, like, you know, like Mil Máscaras, that kind of...
Not really. That's what I wanted to do. Actually, that I'm like, dude, wouldn't it be badass to like recreate one of these old movies with that cheesy music
like
and all that shit?
You seen that Black Dynamite? Like that. There's a movie called Black Dynamite that's like, it's like a parody of that 70s Black, like, but making like
50s, 60s, 70s. Well, the acting is not great, but it has this cool fucking feel about it. And these are the movies I grew up with in Mexico. That's all we watched. The Mil Máscaras, Santo, Blue Demon, all those, and I fucking loved them.
The zombies are
fucking, aliens.
Yeah, I wrote 2 scripts.
You did?
No
shit.
Yeah. And one of them is in that vein.
Really?
Of that old school Lucha
Well,
Libre.
that's what I wanted to do. Yeah. But he's so our movie is more of a Fight Club meets Joker.
Ooh.
My son plays that character where he's an aspiring wrestler, but he's kind of small and skinny. So and he's got a crush on this chick, and he's trying to impress her, and she doesn't give him a time of the day, so he goes nuts and starts killing everyone.
So
That's the premise.
It is a horror film?
Yeah.
Because we have the horror people, man. You know what I'm saying? The Boo Crew, man. As soon as it's done. One of the biggest podcasts for horror.
Really?
Yeah, it's a good friend of ours.
You guys got to meet Ted. Yeah. You got to meet Ted.
Yeah. We had Leo on multiple times.
Yeah.
And he's a scientist too.
Really?
Crazy scientist, bro.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope.
He invented, he put bat wings on a fly. I don't think it's that, but he put I forgot what wings. He took wings off of another insect and put them on a fly, all right, and made it live.
What the fuck?
But he worked at K-Rock with us as well.
Really?
And I would always tell the story, like, I would always embellish it. Oh, this fool took fucking,
he
you
took
know,
the head.
bumblebees. And like, everybody would be like, fuck. And
He
when
took
they
a
meet
dog head and put it on a cat.
yeah, so they meet Leo, they'd be like, damn, Leo, you fucking took fucking, you know, fucking butterfly wings and put it on a fucking lizard. They'd be like, what the fuck? Are you talking to Steve?
That's crazy.
Yeah, because, you know, I mean, like, you gotta make it something better every time. But yeah, he's hardcore into that. And he's talked about how that whole horror genre is just like, has its own section, and it just growing and growing.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, bro.
So everything that's happened, everything that I've done has been things that I didn't like. I did dream about working at Disney when I was little. So when we came back from Mexico, I used to take my bike, because we lived up the street from the studios in Burbank, and I used to just ride my bike around the lot and like imagine myself working there. So by chance, I got in there. And then by chance I became an artist, and then by chance I became a event producer.
Nothing's chance.
Well,
bro.
not chance,
it was
but
meant, bro. That was meant. Those are the paths, you know. Like you know, I talk about it a lot because it's that same chance that you have. Like what you call chance. I ended up at K-Rock. I met Mario. I met Johnny. We have this, but along the way, everything else that's happened to me is from that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was on LA TV Live as a VJ for a while. I've written scripts. I've done all this stuff because of one quote unquote chance.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And and I think that's what you know, that's where it comes from. So, you know, yours was that Disneyland thing, artist. Now you're fucking doing your own events, and now you're writing a fucking movie. So it's just you know, it's just that fruit that keeps giving, that tree that keeps giving the fruit, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome, bro.
And then my son becomes an artist too, and that dude is fucking blowing up. He just sold a painting for 6 figures.
What?
26
Why don't we
year old.
have him on the
And
show?
that's how
You should have him.
And that's how you do it too. When the children of artists are at, I mean, and good for him for taking advantage of the advantage. But when you have somebody who's not only not discouraging you, but encouraging you and showing you stuff, like that is such, like, you know.
Yeah, we
like,
motivate each other.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is, you're right, bro.
Well,
Like,
because there's plenty of people that wanted to do art when they're kids. They got their parents going, man, get the fuck out of here.
It's too hard.
Get a job.
Yeah,
Like, you're
get
not
a real
that, you know,
job.
like, what are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. But the girl was fine.
Well, I honestly never, I didn't really push them. I never told him, look, I want you to do this.
Yeah, you like.
I did expose him to that world, and he just like took it on.
That's what happened.
When he turned 14, 15, his drawing skill level was almost like to mine. When he turned like 16, 17, it was like right there. And then we had a father-son show in Burbank, and his skill level was right there. And then he moves to Vegas, and he teaches himself how to paint. And then that just takes him to the next level. I don't know how to paint. He taught himself. And then it just went from there, and in 2020 just like blew up.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, he's doing collaborations with like huge fucking companies now. He's got big collectors from all over the world. It's crazy.
What does he do? What kind of stuff does he do? What mediums?
Oil on
no shit.
on canvas. Yeah.
The painting that he just sold for 6 figures. What was it about?
The Last Supper.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck! No way.
A famous rapper bought it. West Side Gun.
Okay.
Do you guys know who he is?
I know the name for sure.
East Coast. Yeah, he's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that rap money though, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, that's.
Or at least they're always showing it in the videos. They got stacks.
But that's what I've done with like anytime I've had money, I've bought art. Like that's.
Yeah.
I don't have shit.
Well,
Except my paintings.
here's the thing about art. I think art and real estate are two of the investments that are always good investments, no
Sure.
matter how the economy's doing. If the economy's to shit, art still sells.
No, because
Yeah.
all recessions are a transfer of wealth. So
Yeah.
anytime things get bad, people with money, that's when you get an old car. That's when you get paintings. That's when you get like all that, and that sucks. But it's the truth. If you can have some money when no one's got any money, you go out and pick what you want. Yeah.
But the thing, and the reason they do that is because that's recession proof.
Yeah.
So your money's still worth what that thing is. Because when you have it in the bank, you're losing.
Sure.
So when you're buying stuff like that, when the economy gets strong again, that's even worth more.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you made money.
Yeah.
So you're still mad. I just.
So I always encourage everyone, dude, buy art.
Anytime there's so much stuff that I was exposed to that I didn't buy, even prints that I was like, it's a print, you know what I mean? And
Even
now,
print- dude.
and now those prints are worth fucking,
Bro,
whatever.
I bought a print. I'll tell you the story, the whole story after. But I bought a print for $700 in 2006, and I recently sold it for $30,000.
Hell yeah.
Print.
Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, like, and there's
Wow.
so many prints.
My son puts out a print like every 60 days for $100. Immediately, you see it on eBay. He's selling for $1,500.
Damn. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna start buying
Yeah.
prints, bro. Shit.
Yeah. Buy art.
I agree. There's been, I'm only bummed about. I'll tell you a Disney art that I didn't buy, but I'm only bummed about art I didn't buy. Like there's nothing that I own that I'm like, God damn, I wasted fucking money on that. Nothing. But so what? Maybe a year or two after The Lion King came out. So 95, 96, somewhere in there. I go to the Disney gallery and there's a painting. It's an oil painting of Scar back on his haunches with flames behind him, and it was $5,000. And I had just got a credit card. The first time I ever got a credit card that I for sure could have bought this painting, and I didn't because I was like, I cannot buy a fucking $5,000. I live with my parents. Like I can't buy a $5,000 painting. I should have fucking bought it.
How much is it worth now?
Who knows? I've never been able to find it again. Like I had stopped thinking about that painting for years, and then when I thought about it again, I've gone through like all the shit that you can search through, and I have no idea how to find it.
Dude, there was a guy that bought, I think it was the entire Snow White collection, and I think the figure was like in the $200,000, and he recently sold it back to Disney for like 10 mil.
Shoot.
Damn.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I'm holding on to all these AEW collectibles. Hopefully they turn into some real money.
Yeah. Yeah.
God damn, they're so expensive.
Yeah.
A lot of money.
But I think you also have to buy things that you love and you like. Because
Cherish.
there comes that day that shit ain't worth nothing.
Look,
Yes.
100%.
It's at least worth something
Yeah.
to you.
Because I've been broke, and have never thought about selling my paintings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not selling. I said if it all went to shit, I would be living on the streets with just all my paintings strapped to my back. Like, nah, I'm gonna get an apartment and it's gonna look cool when I
Hell
get
yeah.
it. Like, Not selling nothing.
Yeah, one thing I've always done too is always supporting my friends and buy art off them. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's $30, $40,
Yeah.
and just put it up in my one of my rooms and then just have it up there. Just as a show of support. 'Cause that's what artists need, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even if it is a $20 little print or whatever.
Yeah.
They need you.
That goes a long way because it encourages the artist to keep going.
Sure.
Yeah.
And who knows what they're gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, your $20 little print that he did when he first started is now worth whatever. And it's not even about that. It's just about helping out your friends and having them continue to do what they love
And making money.
no, for them in the long run.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I look at, man, and we've talked about this before. I had the opportunity to live my dream. When you say I lived my dream, I lived my dream. When I was a kid, I said I'm gonna be on K-Rock, and I was on K-Rock, bro, the #1 show. I did it. I lived my dream. So now I have the opportunity, and again, it's a $20 piece, but you're still continuing to but you're still helping someone to continue living their dream.
You're energizing that.
Yeah.
Making money from art is like, that's the dream, you know what I mean? Like
It's
for
not
so many
easy.
people, it's fucking,
No.
and even I watch people do it, and I'm talking music, art, whatever kind of art you're talking about. I'm talking about that too, where in your 20s, cool, man, like that's not like it's hard, but whatever. In your 30s, like it's hard. You get your 40s, like still making a living making art it gets harder. It doesn't get easier and easier, it gets harder. So it's like to the people that are still out there doing it, it's always like, fuck yeah, man, I got nothing but respect for that.
Well, especially those that are full-time like painters that just live off their selling their pieces.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the
There's not too many.
fuck no, like where you're like, what do you do? I paint, like and I sell paintings. Like, woo, good luck.
Yeah. I think same thing with photographers. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
you took
Even photography is harder.
yeah.
Like if I take a picture and I sell it to people, it's like, well, why can't they just download it off the internet? It's like, that's not how it works. Like, you gotta fucking buy it.
What do you think about these NFTs now?
That's another fucking crazy world. Me and my son did an NFT in 2021.
Oh, okay.
And we did sell it, but we didn't sell it for a ton of money.
Didn't one of the Paul brothers, like Jake Paul, one of them bought one for like,
Hundreds of thousands of dollars.
and now it's worth like
nothing.
$10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happens.
But that's a risky take, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Especially
buying
being
stock.
out in front of something. Like you want to be a trailblazer. It's like, hey man, the first dude through the door is who gets shot. You know what I mean? It's like you go through first, you're gonna bleed. That's how it works. And he went through first and he bled.
Learned today.
It's not as hot as it used to be.
Yeah, it was definitely hot for a minute.
Oh yeah.
It was definitely hot for a minute.
It's gonna because even then, like say like the NFT isn't the thing. Like all an NFT is like a receipt for the actual thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like
You own it like a comet. Like you own a comet.
a kind of
Or a
but
star.
no, all the NFT is like the receipt for the thing that you have. Like that's all it's saying. It's saying you do have the thing. That's not the thing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You
Like,
own the rights to it.
right, but that to the thing. Right. But it's all when all this shit gets figured out, because this right now, what's going on with NFTs is like the internet before Google, before Yahoo.
Right.
Before that, you actually had to know about the internet to use the internet.
Yeah.
You couldn't just dickhead.com. Like you had to know stuff.
Yeah.
And it's that way with NFTs right now. It's that way with crypto right now. You have to know about it to do it. But as soon as someone gets it figured out to where Google for blockchain gets invented, like Google or Yahoo for blockchain gets invented, it's gonna
over.
change fucking everything. It's gonna be talking about before and after the internet. It's gonna be that big of a fucking change.
That's what I've been hearing the rumblings that it's stupid and it's falling off now, but the next rise of it's gonna be like an explosion
This,
where
right, people talking shit about NFTs right now are talking. It's like have you ever seen that? It's Bill Gates on David Letterman, and he was like, I don't get it. What can you do on the internet? And he was like, well, you could listen to a baseball game. And he's like, I can listen to a baseball game on the radio. And he starts saying these things that you could do at the very beginning of the internet. And he's like, I could do that. And he's like, It's like you're not seeing it, man. It's like fine. It's
Yeah.
it's
And
cool.
now
It's cool. You're not seeing it, and then by the time we get there, it's gonna be like, oh well, yeah, of course, everybody was fucking.
Well,
You
look
didn't
at
see
what
that?
we can do off of our phones.
You know what I mean? And when they can,
I run my entire business off this thing.
Same here.
you know, like it is.
Everything's
We're
there.
close. We're close.
It's just
to
crazy.
big
Remember
So
when the
convenient.
flip- huh?
So convenient.
Right?
That's where you do all your emails, your calls, your everything. You see, you know.
Everything.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We were able to live without it, and I don't think I can live without it now. Didn't have it before.
I don't have a Thomas guide. How am I going to get anywhere?
Hell yeah. So this weekend you have a show.
Yes, Saturday.
Okay, tell us a little bit about that show, man. What's cracking?
So it's El Velorio 12-year anniversary.
Oh, nice.
I have Danny Trejo, Alicia Del Valle hosting it. I have a band called Tropa Mágica. They're going to headline. Spaghetti Cumbia, DJ Gargamel, Danny Trejo's Girls, and Angel NG. I have mariachi. I have a huge art show. I have about 150 artists. It's a tribute to Vicente Fernandez.
Oh, nice.
So what I did is I had my guy that cuts my canvases cut a guitar cutout, and each artist got the guitar and they did their thing on it.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
2 stages, vendors, food, drinks,
Tell me to
bike
start.
show, 7 p.m.
7 p.m. and goes till
1 a.m.
1 a.m. Nice.
21 and over.
Okay.
Don't bring your kids. Leave them at home.
That's
Yes.
a fucking party, man.
Yeah,
It
it is a
is.
party.
Where do we get tickets for this?
Elvelorio.com.
Okay. Spell that for those who don't know how to spell.
ELVERIO.com.
There we go, guys. Get your tickets. 2 stages, 1 night full of just awesome, just bands, art, everything, vendors.
Fashion show.
Oh, fashion show.
Oh, fashion show. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Forgot about that.
No Lucha Libre at this one?
Not this one, no.
No, okay.
La Lucha Libre happens at La Bulla.
La Bulla. When's
Yeah.
that one?
That's until next year, August 19.
Okay.
Yeah, I do it once a year.
And then after this show, do you have anything else coming up?
I'm doing a house music event at the Mayan, February 19.
Okay.
And then another one at the Mayan for my birthday, March 10th. You guys are invited to that.
Hell yeah.
Not the other ones, but to the birthday.
Yeah, not to
one.
that one.
Just to the birthday one.
Stay away Saturday.
Bring presents.
So I'm celebrating 50 years.
Hell
March
yeah.
10th.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice, man. Congratulations.
Look good for 50, man.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Look good.
It's all the weed I smoke.
Hell yeah. We'll send you with some home. Send you with some home. Well, now with that show coming up, I mean, is there little smaller shows that you still plan to kind of do, or is it only the yearly big shows that you're just now focused on? Like,
Yeah, so that one at the Mayan, February 19 is smaller.
okay,
And then March 10th, it's going to be smaller. And I just did one at Quiet Canyon like a month ago.
Yeah, I saw that.
and by the way, he
House
says smaller. These are still venues that
Yeah,
hold
hilarious.
that like fucking 1,200 at the Mayan, and
People would
fucking Quiet
dream.
Canyon is still 40,000 fucking cha-chas in there. So fuck, bro. Like, I mean,
No, we had about 1,000 people.
Oh, okay. Still, fuck, dude. That's still. I'm sorry, fucking close.
Pla-
My
Yeah,
close
I'm
1,000
sorry,
friends.
yeah.
Plaza's a couple thousand people.
Yeah.
I do want to note that he's actually certified on the gram. So I don't know.
Oh shit, he got a check mark.
Yeah, like legit and shit. I
Oh,
mean,
man.
we've had a few people come in through Pick Studios, but first time on the West Coast Pop Lock that we actually had like blue check celebrity in here. So holy shit! Not only you're the top dude at Disney, like you obviously excel in everything that you do, and that's so fucking exciting. Especially you're really humble, dude. I mean, you came in here just had a really good vibe, really good energy around you, and it's just really cool just to meet people like that. It
Let me
inspires-
tell you about how I smashed life.
I know, right? I mean, we talk about hitting home runs, but this dude is just like he's not even playing. We're not even playing the same game. Like, no, he's on its own fucking private league, just doing his own shit. Like, fuck, man, that's so awesome.
And it's crazy how it started off with like escaping from Jehovah's Witness.
I know,
bro.
right?
That was,
Yeah.
I did not expect that at all.
Yeah,
Because I have a couple of friends that are Jehovah's Witnesses, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But like, yeah, to even, I wouldn't have never have guessed it, of course.
Yeah.
And starting off with that, I was like, what? Damn, that's crazy.
I lived in a bubble, and then once I stepped out of that bubble, I was just like,
I want to do this.
I loved all this stuff.
I think your next movie should be based on your life and your travels from fucking beginning to end and all the stuff in between. I think that'd be an awesome movie.
I think it's almost like the
Mi familia.
not that you're not exposed to it, but like not getting the opportunity to do that. And once you're there, you're like, fuck, I'm taking advantage.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And people that are in it that could be doing some of the same things are like, you know what I'm saying? They see it every day. They're about it. But you got that taste and you were like, oh, this is what I want to do.
He's hungry.
Yeah.
Still hungry.
That hunger.
Yeah.
You know? And once you got a taste of it, that was it.
Yeah.
That was it. And that's what it takes to survive in what you do. You know what I'm saying? Not only art, but, you know, events and movies. Like, you know, I think Jay-Z has a good song that's something about, you know, my first like my last and my last like my first. You know what I mean? You got to continue having that hunger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, not only that, his offspring that he didn't even try to get into fucking doing art. This
That's what
motherfucker's
happened.
doing his own big thing too.
Do you know
like,
what? That offspring is the one that got him the opportunity.
Sure, absolutely. Got him kicked out of the church.
You gotta thank him.
Like,
Next time you see him, be like, "Thank you. I got you. You helped me escape and become who I am."
Sure.
Because imagine if you didn't have him, you'd still be, you know,
you'd
you'd
be
be
out
somewhere.
here running.
We'd have you in here talking about just.
You would be a
Jehovah's Witnesses.
super successful Jehovah's Witness
Yeah.
preacher.
I
I have
would be
no
an-
idea you'd still be.
I
I
would
have
be
no
an-
doubt you'd still be successful. But
Yeah.
I'd be an elder.
Yeah,
Oh,
you would
yeah.
in
be
Bethel, maybe.
smashing, smashing Jehovah's Witness. You know what I mean? The Jehovah's Witness would probably be the biggest church on earth.
Yeah.
If you would have had your son.
You'd be kicking someone out right now.
You'd be running shit,
Probably.
making it fucking happen.
I might have been one of the 144 chosen.
Absolutely.
Oh shit, that's true.
Yeah, you know.
There's
It's-
still
you know
spots
what's
open.
You know what's gonna be funny is when they all quote unquote go to heaven and you're there as well.
You're like, I still did it.
I still made it.
Remember you kicked me out?
Yeah.
Like,
So their belief is that only those 144 are going to go to heaven, and then the rest that were obedient to God are going to stay on earth with a purpose of converting the planet into a paradise. And then they're going to live 1,000 years, and then after 1,000 years, God is going to let Satan come out for a last round to see who he can take with them, and then whoever he takes with them, they're going to be dead forever, and he's going to kill Satan.
Yeah, we just got the 401 on
Dude.
the
Damn,
You don't have to
Jehovah's
go-
are
you
fucking
don't have to
deep.
go-
This sounds like a fucking Lord of the Rings fucking novel right
I don't
here.
have to go to church.
It's a good story.
It sounds
It's a
like
good-
it's,
that's
okay.
really
Hold
crazy.
on. I don't know anything about Jehovah's other than they can't celebrate birthdays. But tell me a little bit more about these elders. Now I think about like fucking Green Lantern and their fucking elders and shit. So are these just like the oldest fucking
Yeah.
people in your church,
Yeah.
or like, so they can still be all fucking bad people just because they're old and shit? They're just the elders, or
Well,
they
they're-
actually like tried and true, like they actually try to do good for the whole.
No, they
community?
are. They are good.
Okay.
Yeah. This is one thing about the religion that I've experienced. I would say the majority of people are good people. You know, they say if you have a rental property, the best tenants are Jehovah Witnesses.
Hell yeah.
Because they pay the rent and they will not destroy your property. So,
Oh, good to know.
FYI.
Oh, good to know.
yeah, those
But,
are the best tenants.
When if they ever got thrown out, I'd be like, you're out.
Yes,
like, you
yes,
know what I mean? Like, you are out of here. You got thrown out. What'd you do? What'd you do? Get out of here.
But if I rent to Jehovah's, are they gonna be trying to convert me every week?
Probably.
yeah,
Yeah.
of course. What are you
There's
talking
gonna be
about?
pamphlets and always, dude.
Here's another tip. If you know how they come knocking on your doors, but I think they stopped doing that.
Well, I think because of the pandemic.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, but I heard that they're going to not do that anymore. They're gonna go another route. I don't know.
I see a lot of them like
on
I
the
go to Home
corners.
Depot on
Yeah,
corners now.
yeah, I see that. So they might move into that instead of knocking on doors because that's caused a lot of problems.
It's old, and plus that's like people trip. Like you can't just knock on
Yeah,
people's doors.
yeah.
It's 2022.
Yeah.
Just strangers knocking on your door. Get out of here.
Sunday at 8 in the morning.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. You're inviting
fuck?
trouble.
My dad would love when they came. And he'd sit out there and talk to them
talk
and
to
like
them.
just, go back and forth bickering about, the Bible or whatever it is. And, and then, I don't know, I guess he got his fill of the Jehovah's Witness. They'd go their way and then,
You're like, all right, see you
but
guys
they'd
later.
come back the next weekend. Boom, I was like, damn, homie.
I want to get a little piggy with it. What kind of trouble would they kind of get into with knocking on these doors? What kind of a...
Dude, I got 100 stories, especially in Mexico. So here's the
hear
thing:
them all.
if you're a Jehovah Witness in Mexico, you get killed.
Damn.
Oh shit!
Yeah, you get persecuted and you can get killed. And Jehovah Witnesses do get killed in Mexico because the majority of the country are Catholic, and they're hardcore Catholic.
Yeah, so they're not just kidding about being
no. A lot of people in Mexico, especially from where we're from, like the smaller towns, they all have a sign on their door. Hey, this household is a Catholic household. We do not believe in anything else. Don't come knocking on our door. And this is specifically for Jehovah Witnesses.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's not going to stop them from knocking on the doors. But we had people pulling guns out on us, letting loose their dogs on us, throwing hot water, eggs, salsa at us. Yeah.
Picante, bro.
Yeah. Like all kinds of shit happened to us. You would walk down the street and people just call you Jehovista. Hey, Jehovista.
And that was it.
Yeah.
What does that
But
mean?
It's like a insult in their mind.
Sure.
You know, you're Jehovah Witness, Jehovista. Yeah.
So like Jehovah or something, trying to make
Exactly.
it like make it slang.
Yeah. So yeah.
What kind of salsa, red or green?
Both.
There was no discrimination on that.
White eggs and brown eggs.
Everything.
man.
So these are the stories. What was the worst? What was the worst thing that ever happened to you?
Okay, so one morning we got woken up by the priest. He's on the mic, 6 a.m, and he's announcing to the whole ranch. He's saying, he wants us to leave the ranch, my mom and my sisters and me, and if we don't leave, that they have the right to kill us by stone. And my grandma is listening to this shit, and she's all fucking bawling, and we didn't fucking leave. So that's the worst that's ever happened to us. Yeah.
Damn.
Well, you went there and you converted half the ranch.
Well,
so
my
the
mom,
priest is like, "What the hell?"
That's why they're like, put up a sign that says, "Don't knock on this goddamn door."
Yeah. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Damn. And that still goes on now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if it's still this bad, but it was bad back in the 80s.
Yeah.
So we lived in Mexico 1979 to 89. Yeah.
I bet it must have changed by now because there's so many different things going on over there, man. You know.
Probably.
Yeah. Who knows? Because I know there's more Jehovah's and there's like now there's even Buddhists. There's all kinds of stuff because so many people have come to Mexico.
Yeah.
Chinese, Haitians, and so there's a bunch of different stuff going on over there as well here. You know what I mean? I mean, you see a bunch of stuff. So
Now let me ask, back that far back in Mexico, was there anime? Because anime is such a big thing right now over there. Was that existent back then?
Probably, but I didn't.
You were in
Jehovah's, he can't do that.
Well, I don't know. He was hanging out with the
was-
bad kids.
No, he wasn't.
No,
He hung
Mexico
out
I
with
was
the
here.
kids.
Oh, okay,
Mexico
okay.
I was straight.
Oh, just straight.
He was
yeah.
running
Oh,
shit out
Yeah.
there.
Oh, okay.
He was running from dogs, getting hit by eggs, salsa.
Green and red.
Yeah.
Surviving buses falling apart.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man. There was not time for anime, man.
Hell
By,
no.
by the way, surviving buses, you guys were laughing. You guys were having the time of your life as that bus was falling apart.
Dude,
were you drawing at all at that age? in
Yeah,
there?
well, in Mexico, that's all I did. See, the thing is that in the ranch, I was the only Jehovah Witness. As a witness, you're not allowed to have or hang out with anyone that's not a witness. So I had no friends in the ranch. So what I did is draw all fucking day. That's all I did.
that's one of the rules. You're not supposed to hang out with them.
Yep.
Oh shit! All my friends are breaking rules.
Yeah,
bro.
they are. So they're not true Jehovah Witnesses.
Yeah.
Because you know that their belief is that, like, if you're a true Jehovah Witness and you start hanging out with someone else, they're going to pull you out. And that's what happened with me. I started hanging out with people that are not Jehovah
They were
Witnesses.
right.
They were absolutely right.
They were right.
They pulled me out. They gave me a taste of this, and dude, I fucking loved
You're
it.
like, this is way better.
It's
Yeah,
sort of
I'm
like
out.
that Mormon. What do they do when they go and do their
Their
Yeah,
weekend.
They
their
let him go for the more mission.
yeah, no, not the mission. What's the other ones then? Is it maybe the Quakers? I don't know. The
No,
ones-
it's called something else, but I know what you're talking about. That's when they get to go out and go
Experience the world.
right, and
Yeah.
then either come back or don't come back. Most of them don't come back.
Amish people.
Amish, there you
There you
go.
go. Yeah.
Damn. That's crazy. And that's crazy now because I do have some Jehovah's Witness friends and
Tell
I'm
them.
not Jehovah's
You
Witness.
should never have.
Well, ask them, are you baptized? If they're baptized, they're not supposed to hang out with you.
Damn.
Yeah. And here's another tip. I skipped it. So if they still come knocking on your door and you want to stop that, you just tell them, hey, I just want to let you know I'm disfellowship.
Disfellowship.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That means you got kicked out.
Oh.
And since they're not supposed to talk to you because you're disfellowship, they won't come back.
They're like, yo, don't come talk to me, man.
I'm gonna do that every time I walk by the little ones that are on the corner stand. Yo, I'm disfellowship. They'll be like,
like, let me talk to you for a minute.
Yeah, can you
And
get me back in?
After like 10 minutes, you're like, guess what? Disfellowship. And you're like, oh,
Get me back in.
You know what, Steve? I'm starting to meet more of these outcasts. I think we need to start printing some merch and just say this fellowship across the shirt and start like getting a group going.
That's a very niche market, but you could probably dominate that market. You know?
I'm just saying, man. And within just a matter of weeks, now I know 2. And that's just not even trying to look for them. So
you doubled your fucking customer base.
Boom.
Went from 1 to 2.
You're in business.
Well, we can find you on Instagram.
Antonio Pelayo.
Okay, as well as
my company's Instagram is Antonio Pelayo Productions, and each event has their own handle, El Velorio, and then La Bulla.
And that's this weekend.
This Saturday, October 15, at Plaza de la Raza.
Tickets still available?
Tickets are still available. Yeah.
But make sure to get yours, bro, because it's a hot show.
It's my best event.
Yeah. It's going to be dope. Who's hosting it?
Danny Trejo and Alicia del Valle.
All right. I did some LA TV Live with Alicia.
Yeah?
Back in the day. All right, guys. We'll see you guys there. Thank you very much for coming out. Oh, look, Mario's going to put up some of your work right now.
Yeah, this is what I do at Disney. So right now what I'm doing is I'm transferring the animator's pencil drawing onto the acetate. That's what the material is called. It's like a see-through sheet. And then the line work happens on top. You flip the cell, it gets painted, and then that cell back in the day got inserted into the multi-plane camera, which is a gigantic machine. And it gets shot one time, they take it out, there's a background underneath, and then they put the next one. So essentially, we keep that tradition alive.
You still use the same tools?
The same tools. These are the same tools that were used back when this thing started, 1920. And to do this, it's very difficult.
I bet.
Yeah, it's really difficult.
Pulling lines, man. Pulling lines all day.
Difficult because of the stroking, the hand movement,
just everything.
Just everything.
Everything.
Carpal's tunnel.
The technique is not your wrist. The technique is your arm.
Sure.
So every line has to be done with your arm.
Oh, like a
not your
stroke.
wrist.
Yeah, it's not this.
Yep.
Why? Just out of curiosity. Why?
Straighter?
Yeah, straighter.
Okay.
It gives you better control rather than doing this.
Because this is going to get tired after a while.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Okay.
And then they say that you become a master inker when all the lines are like come together and you don't see where they came together.
Sure.
And to achieve that is so hard.
And you're a master inker.
Well, I don't think
on some days.
They say it takes 15 years to become a master inker, but if you're doing it 8 hours a day. Yeah. And the people that taught me how to do this, they were masters at Disney. They were incredible. You just like you'd be mesmerized by like watching them work. They were so smooth, and it was all ladies, no men. I'm like, I was not the first male inker hired. I was the second male inker hired, but then I survived all the layoffs and retirements and all that stuff. So I'm like the only male master inker.
Are you gonna train another person? Are you gonna teach somebody else?
We're training 3 people right now. There are 3 new people.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what's their how long into it were you like, all right, you got it now, or you're up and running? Like how long would you consider the training process to be?
I was probably in training at least 6 months.
Yeah, at least, right?
Least,
and that's just to get up and running.
This was at a school in Canoga Park. It was like 500 people.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Mexico or something.
500 kids.
Same difference.
Well, the funny thing is that at the end, a bunch of these kids came over, and a few of them were like looking at me, and they're like, "Oh, you're my dad." And then the teachers were like, "Kids, what did we say? Like, don't get near the artist." But it was funny.
Did they straight up say you're my dad?
Yeah, you're my dad.
Like maybe. What's your mom's name?
I mean, there's some amazing.
That's the drawing that got me to meet Retina.
Hell yes.
Yeah. And the funny thing is that he never got it, but my friend that introduced me to Retina, now he owns it.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh wait, how did he not get it? I thought you did. Or did
No,
he
remember
No,
he
he
said
never bought
no.
it.
He said, I don't have the
Yeah.
money, but you can come and do some shows.
Oh, I thought that was a trade where he was gonna
Yeah, I
fucking
was like,
keep
give
it
me
and,
that.
and keep that and keep doing the shows.
Absolutely.
No.
No.
Oh shit.
That's wild.
So your homeboy kept it. That's dope. He's
Well,
like, "Ah, I'll take it."
I kind of sort of sold it to him. He's a web designer, so he made my website for a trade.
Okay.
So I gave him that drawing for my
So
website.
you have a $10,000 website.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. So you are doing some more.
Dude, I could definitely watch this kind of shit all day, just like.
Is that Gaston? Is that what I'm seeing right
Yeah.
there?
This was a piece that became a stamp for the post office.
No. Oh, no shit. That's cool.
Now, 30 years, you've seen it all with Disney.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite character to draw?
I would say, go back to my page. That one. What's her name?
Maleficent?
Maleficent. Yeah.
Really?
She's a
Yeah.
good
Why?
one.
She reminds you of someone, right? That's why.
The line work on her, it was kind of fluid.
She looks like it would be fun to draw.
She was fun to ink. Yeah.
Who's your least?
Least Mickey Mouse.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
The circles, inking circles is really difficult.
Dude.
I see.
Yeah.
Circles and straight lines at your own risk. You know?
Yeah, that's actually what we're doing right now. We're working on a piece to celebrate 100 years of the company, and the piece has Mickey Mouse and Minnie, and it's not fun at all.
Fucking 100 years, and then prices keep going up. I just
Hell
went
yeah.
fucking in September, and that shit was like $1 trillion for 2 people in parking.
Yeah,
God
Dude, I haven't
damn,
gone
dude.
in years.
and that's excluding food.
I know,
Yeah.
man. Hey, but that new Star Wars ride, fucking legit.
I haven't
So good.
I haven't experienced it.
Hell yeah.
Does it make you dizzy?
I don't do well on the simulator rides.
I don't either.
And the Rise of the Resistance is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fine.
it's more than a simulator
Because it's
ride.
it's not what you're thinking. It's not.
Remember
that,
Star
you know?
Tours?
It's not because I went just pretty recently.
Yeah.
And rode what's the fuck is that name? That Ride of Resistance. That was fun.
Yeah.
I rode that for the first time. And rode Star Tours the next day. The
And
same
fine?
day, I felt fine in Rise of Resistance and got fucking sick in Star
Yeah.
Tours.
Really?
So, all the simulator rides are something that's not.
Yeah.
screen
I don't
and
do
shit.
I don't do
with
well
them.
with those.
Got it.
Me either.
Yeah.
Man, the last time I was there, they still had that like Pop Goes a Weasel fucking thing. What was it? The show, the little one goes in circles.
Pop Goes the Weasel
Yeah,
show.
they do. It was like telling the story of.
in America,
Yeah.
God damn,
Yeah.
man, that's building his
Fool, you worked at K-Rod. Didn't you steal fucking tickets to go to Disneyland?
No,
what
we
the
did.
fuck?
We did breakfast at with No Doubt at Disneyland, stuff like that.
yeah.
But once it like you, I don't know. I'm talking to you about it, but I had a friend that he painted. He painted the what's it called, the carousel. All the horses and all that stuff that's on the carousel.
Yeah.
And as soon as they were done, they escorted him straight out.
Yeah,
You can't
yeah,
keep
yeah.
the fuck out rides. No.
Don't take no
Can't look at
pictures.
Disneyland for
Let's
free.
go.
They gave you the 2-finger point.
Yeah.
It was like right
Let's
this
go,
way.
Out of here, Mr. Luis Peña. Thank you for painting. Please leave.
Do they
this
hook
way.
you guys up like they hook up the people at the park with like free admission and shit?
We have a thing called it was called a silver pass, and that meant we can go in any day, anytime, take 3 people in for free. But I would say like 4 years ago they started cutting back on the dates, and now it's like I don't even use it because I have to take a day off during the week. They give us no weekends,
Hey, you
nothing.
Like you can come a Tuesday
Yeah.
in November, and that's it.
Between
Yeah.
noon and 4.
At the worst time.
Yeah.
So we took my daughter for her birthday in August, and I had to pay for the tickets.
Dicks.
Fucking asshole. God damn you,
Don't they know who
Disney.
you are?
Yeah.
Don't they understand you're the
dicks, man.
universe's greatest fucking inker in that goddamn company?
They just don't know what I went through in Mexico. That's why.
Yeah, I let her know.
Eggs and salsas and everything,
Yeah.
bro.
Broken buses.
Wow, let me tell you
You
guys.
ever
You
ridden
guys.
in the back of? You ever ridden a bus with no back?
Yeah.
I have.
Well, if you want to meet the world's greatest inker, not only that, but the man who survived Jehovah's Witnesses, eggs, salsas being thrown at him,
Mexico in the 80s.
make sure to go out to Plaza La Raza this Saturday night. You can check him out. What a great podcast, man. Thank you very much for
Thank you
coming.
for having
thank
me.
you,
This was a
man.
lot of fun.
Yeah, it's crazy that we like. I thought we were coming in with one thing.
Hell yeah, we went all over the place.
Yeah, it was crazy, bro.
We went on a journey.
Yeah, it was dope. It was dope.
It's always like that. We can I can be here for hours just talking about like the time I spent in Mexico.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
And then another day just talking about Disney because I've
Yeah.
done a lot for Disney. 30 years there.
Yeah,
That's
come
a
on.
lot.
And
I
then-
mean, I just heard that he's down to come back for another round and
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
a little bit
exactly.
more.
We
with the
always
West
love to have
Coast.
you. Yo, definitely have you back
You
again.
guys should have my son.
Well,
He's
we'll
very-
bring
love
both
to.
of you.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Hell,
he has
yeah,
both.
heck yeah. Well, definitely.
He's,
Let's
he's
talk
very
about that.
entertaining.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely. I know he's in Vegas, but we'll make sure to have him out here.
No,
when he
he's
comes.
he's out here.
Oh, he's back
me,
here.
Me and him live together in Pacoima.
Oh,
Fuck
yeah.
she should have came.
Yeah.
Next one. Heck
Next
yeah.
one. Next one.
All right, let's
Just a
hear it.
little
Thank
teaser.
you very much.
Thank
It's
you.
the West Coast Pop Lock Podcast every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, live on
That's
Twitch,
us.
Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. You can also
All of
catch
them.
us on iTunes and Spotify.
Yep.
And Johnny, where are you going to be out anywhere?
No.
Nothing right now? Hey.
Well, I will say, John, if you guys want to come out to Mal's. Fun City presents the Maz Disco. We are celebrating 30 years of the world's greatest Morrissey cover band tribute, if you will. The Sweet and Tender Hooligans. They are celebrating their 30-year anniversary. They're performing live at the Regent, but we're doing their after party, if you will, the following day.
Come be sad and cry.
Come be sad and cry. Not only that, you guys can get some free fucking tickets
Ooh.
for the Morrissey show at the Toyota Arena.
The where?
The
What?
Toyota, I know, I screwed
Toyota
that. Toyota Arena here in Ontario.
Bobby's doing that, right?
Bobby D presents, yeah, man. So shout out to Bobby and his whole crew. Got us some tickets to give away this Saturday, guys. So
Hell yeah.
you know, you want to come get your.
Oh shit! Come get a ticket to Morrissey.
Hey, you could be
I
lucky.
can't believe Mario's gonna give him away.
I know. He's not. He's not.
I'm winning.
His
them,
wife's going to walk
guys.
up and like, oh, I'm the winner.
Oh, what number? Number 6? What? Oh, look at that.
And do not forget this Friday night out there in Santana, our boys from the Chicano Shuffle.
Santana.
5-year anniversary. Go out there, hang out. Make sure to go to Chicano Shuffle on Instagram and get all the information on where you can get your tickets. Hang out. We'll be out. I mean, I'll be out there. I think you're going, Mario.
Yeah, I'm coming out.
Johnny.
It's gonna be a good time. Friday
Yeah,
night at
Friday
La
night.
Mission, right?
Yeah.
La Mission. It's gonna be awesome.
Performances.
Bands, podcasts, a bar. I'm sure there's gonna be ladies and all that shit.
Whatever,
Everything.
everything.
La coca, you know.
Oh shit.
Saca la bolsita. That's how they get down in Santa Ana. So I'm just saying.
It's the West Coast Pop Lock Podcast. We're out.
Goodbye.
The number one live show in the world, West Coast Pop Lock Podcast. Coming to you from Pig Studios in Compton, California. Featuring radio personality Super Steve Flores. Comedian extraordinaire, that dude Johnny C. And Mr. I'll do anything for a buck, Mario 81. So throw your dubs in the air and let's get ready to pop lock.